What's up, everybody? All you frogs, hop hop. Here at the beach. My previous video was a clusterfuck kind of, but that's okay. It worked out. I'm gonna say real quick, the other video ended up being about my boy David McDowell. See the raise hell, the Hellraiser. You got short amount of time to go get it or order it. That's what we'll be talking about. But quickly, I'm gonna do what I was doing. Here's my memes, of course, on L. Ron Humperdinck. See, Bussing Biden wishes you a first great day at school. David drew this, and I said I would, pick him up because I design. He does too, but he's more of the artist. I said, hey, if you ever want to do that, I'll fix it up on the computer for him. So there's that, right? Now there's McDowell's Twitter at David Mac MAC, like Mac Daddy. I call him Mac Daddy McDowell or Macintosh. David McDowell. This is his Instagram, McDowell. His living floor gallery, right? He's a wild man for sure. So there's the raise hell. And on the store frontier, he's got it's storefrontier.com / this is product, but / David McDowell is his profile. So if you want to buy any of his shit, just go ahead and do it. It's a cool guy. I'm gonna exit out of all this so this will load. I'm on that hotel Wi-Fi, right? See, there they are. You got time still, 13 hours. But what am I going to be talking about? What am I going to be talking about? I'm wearing my MAGA hat for Trump. I got my USA. It's going into the week of the 4th, which is why I'm even here. I've got my chink coat Jap jacket, which is inappropriate for both cases. I guess I'll use the term Oriental, and my design teacher, who was pretty liberal, classic liberal, would be pulling her hair out. Dylan, Oriental's not a great word, but to the Asians, English, and some of this I'm recapping for the other video, but whatever. The English, and American English, and Australian English, to all of us, we're different types of whites, but to them we'd all be, Anglos, or so to speak. So I don't get the big deal of the Oriental, but anyways, I figured I'd put on something that at least looks Asian for this video. And why are we talking about it? G20 Summit, Osaka Summit, I might be butchering it, who knows. That's in Japan. I guess it's hosted by Prime Minister Abe, who's a cool guy. There he is. There's Trump. This is real nice art, Japanese art, really. I kept on looking for Kim Jong-un, and no wonder he's not going to be in that picture. But we'll watch this.
To the DMZ.
Oh, sorry, hold on. I'm taking this off. Put it back here so y'all can still see it if you want to see it, but putting on my cans, right? So I can hear, not blowing y'all out. Now, we're on the stream, yep. And I think I'll move myself over here. Whoa, look out, Dylan, I'm moving far right. Somebody call CNN. There's a radical on the loose. But here, we're going to watch this. This is Sky News Australia. I liked it because I watched it this morning. I woke up to this news, and it was good news. And, it's not like, oh, I'm at the beach. I woke up at a different spot. The real good news to me was this. This is cool. And plus, it's going to piss people off. You see over here on the right, first thing recommended is Washington Post. Ugh. Nothing shady about that. Look, Trump's most awkward moments of 2018. This will end up on the 2019. They'll find a way to shit on him. I see a lot of comments. If and us will be the same, peace, not war. I agree. There's people saying I'm not a fan of Trump, but if you're gonna hate on the man, we know what you're about, death and destruction, right? And people will say, well, what with Obama? You said he pulled out of Syria and that was bad. No, I said the way he did was bad. I'm for being out of Syria. We were funding the wrong people, and that goes for McCain and them too. You notice how ISIS started shriveling up when McCain died, finally, Warbird McCain. But I digress. With this right here, most awkward moments, it's life is fucking awkward. What are they talking about? You work with somebody like Kim Jong-un or something, you never know what's going to happen. There's going to be awkward moments, and especially they use a commie word they'd love, proletariat. They're the ones that think they're better than everybody else. They think everything's supposed to be perfect because their life is fucking scripted. They're not like me. They're not like people I watch. Like I just said, David McDowell, an artist who goes through and does things viscerally, who I know from Hard Bastard. What he does live streams. And it's just as we go. It's natural. What they say is awkward is quote unquote natural. And whenever he was picking that dirt off of Macron, they could have had dirt, he could have not. And the way about branding is that was him demasculating him. Media may know that, they may not. And if they do know that, then they're just trying to do this to combat that because, Macron's their guy. Apparently, anybody but Trump. But we're going to watch this.
Live to the DMZ, the US President Donald Trump is expecting to meet now with the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on the border of North and South Korea. Let's take a listen in.
This is nuts, really. It's like I've never seen this in my life, of course, because I'm young, but there's people older than me that have are seeing this and it's even more insane. I think this is their video doing that. Because I've got it loaded too. There's Jong-un, who's done certain things, but he's the leader of this country.
I've never expected to meet you at this place.
Nobody did, Kim.
If your excellency takes a step forward, you will be the first U.S. president to cross the border.
First U.S. president to ever cross this border, ever. Bam. Say what you want about Trump, but he excels in this shit right here. His diplomacy is nuts. I love it. Remember, I'm gonna pause this real quick. You guys remember whenever everybody was crying about my missile's bigger, this is clearly a phallic joke. This is clearly a quote-unquote dick measure. What do you think men do? Men demasculate each other all the time, and they find out who can take it. It's like a pride of lions and things. Or a herd, you weaken people out. If you find out somebody can't, if you say, don't, Dylan, get your shit together, we're losing this game, and I go, why do you want to talk to me that way? They're gonna, I don't deserve to be on the team. If you can sit there and not have an ego about being told, hey, you need to do this better, then you're fine. Same for this type of stuff. Everybody said, oh, this is going to be the end of the world, blah, blah, blah. They're using missile talk. They were using missile talk to reference each other's dicks. It's not a mating dance, but like when men butt heads, if you think of rams, and if you think of most people that respect people, always say real recognize real, culturally, right? If you push up against somebody and they don't take your shit, you go, hey, I've got a modicum of respect for this guy because he won't give me what I want. That means that he'll keep me from getting what I want sometimes because it may be detrimental. I said this one time about women. I bring it up a decent bit, sure. But I said women want a man who will tell them no when they need to be told no and say, oh, well, how could you ever tell a woman no? Oh, you're not a woman. That's her body. That's her mind. We could never be women. And a bunch of cuck men said, we could never be women. And I go, oh, I didn't know that before I typed the tweet, you idiot. Nobody wants somebody that'll let them run all over them. And if you saw that with Obama, you saw that with Bush, you saw that with all these failed diplomacies in the past, Carter especially, and Clinton with all these China things and North Korea things. And Trump said, hey, I'm not taking your shit. And he said, oh okay. Oh, shit. Because he's not going to bomb us either way. Like a kid, like your father corrects you and says, I'm not going to take your shit. You're not going to act like that way. You're not going to disrespect your mother. The worst you can do is say, man, I disagree with that. Man, you're such a dickhead. But you're not going to, spit in your dad's face? He'll whip you. You know what I mean? Or he'll punish you. He'll ground you. You have a modicum of respect for your dad also because of that. He says, hey, I'm the boss. And you're like, okay, shit, you are. When it comes to it, North Korea is not going to lob off a fucking missile because Trump called him little man, rocket man, There's names I got called by my friends that are shitty. They call me mophead Dylan. And I don't cry about it. I think, damn, that's funny. We call each other all sorts of names. And so it's the way men bond in this effeminized world, like it or not. We're effeminized. Women are more teachers than anybody. There's a lot of people pushing to be women leaders. He's not. Whether you think, well, the other parts of the world aren't just because other parts of the world won't respect a woman as president doesn't mean we can't. It's like, yeah, but it's not about what we want in the U.S. when it comes to diplomacy. When other countries, you send a woman in there to talk to Saudi Arabia, North Korea, all these places, Russia, it's going to be different. Putin has respect and can show it like that, but as far as like authority, like it or not, I believe in God. God gave men authority. He made men first. That's not to say that men should pillage and control women, but that's for protecting. And that's what we're doing here. We're seeing Trump protecting U.S. interests. Because this has to be done. North Korea can't be avoided. I mean, with the World Banks and all that, but we'll get into that. Trying to get that shot. Not sure if his guys are telling him that, but they could get shot, you know. Look at the body language. I'm no expert, but it's very good. It's promising. Get the picture here.
Come on. Wait till they move. Come on. Wait till they move.
Watch the way Trump treats him. Look, hand on back. All this stuff seems whatever. Big progress.
Okay.
He waits for him.
Come on.
Look at these reporters. I hate these people. These same people will go home, not all, but some of these same people over there take a picture, trying to get their picture or whatever. We're not for this meeting. They call an impromptu meeting like this because he was in Japan. He wasn't even supposed to be with North Korea, right? They're exiled. They're not part of the world stage, and it has to do with the bank and the world powers and stuff, right? But these people are the same people that be talking shit about this meeting, and I know it's their job to go take a picture, but they just think they're so damn self-important. And I'm not going to act like that. It wouldn't be an honor to step on the DMZ zone, even on the South Korean side, and say, "Damn, this is hallowed ground in a sense. This is It's like being led into, the mayor's house. Let's just say you went to the mayor to meet him about something, to help him with a campaign or something. You're like, damn, I'm in the house of the guy who runs the county or whatever, the city. That's what this is like. But there's people that were like, I'm sure I could see him like inching up, like, let me get the closer photo or something. It's like, I'm going to touch it too. It's like, bitch, you're not there taking the brunt, taking the areas like Trump, trying to establish this, trying to get a new deal, trying to keep us out of war. Media thrives off war, and all these just retards. She's got a Trump thing. I know it's like, she's for Trump. It's different. It is. It is, because she supports him, and he's the one making these moves.
I might have failed that.
See, the touch. I want to do it full screen, but I don't want to take up your space.
Feel great. It's a great honor to be here.
As you can see, this shows that nobody has expected this moment.
At least she's acting right. She didn't try to rush.
How do you feel?
They don't know. It's awesome.
대통령이 물리선을 넘어서 우리 땅을 밟았는데 사상 처음으로 우리 땅을 밟은 미국 대통령이 되셨습니다.
President Trump has just walked across the demarcation line that made him the first U.S. president to visit our country.
이 행동 자체만 보시지 말고 이 트럼프 대통령께서 분리선을 넘어서 가신 거는 다시 말하면 좋지 않은 그 과거를 청산하고.
I'm not sure what's going on here. Is the audio out?
Open a new future of his good.
청산하고.
Sorry guys, I'll talk until it comes in. He might have been saying something that they don't want heard, which is fine. People talk about secrecy. Well, look at the CIA.
Of his willingness to eliminate all the unfortunate past
touch?
and open a new future.
I just want to say that this is my honor. I didn't really expect it. We were in Japan for the G20. We came over and I said, hey, I'm over here. I want to call Chairman Jim.
Just like a
And we
businessman.
got to meet, and stepping across that line was a great honor. A lot of progress has been made. a lot of friendships have been made, and this has been in particular a great friendship. So I just want to thank you. That was very quick notice, and I want to thank you.
내가 지금 얘기하고 싶은 거는
And what's crazy is I don't know if people have talked about this, but I know people talk about this in retrospect. They go, what about Otto Warmbier? And sure, that was fucked up what happened to him, but why would you go visit North Korea if you've heard about what goes on there, if it really is like that, right? Because who knows? I've never been there. He's the first president to ever be there. So do we really know what's going on? And as far as, would you go to China to visit now with Xi Jinping? I wouldn't. And so he's supposedly better than North Korea, right? I wouldn't go there because I don't know the laws and they could fuck me up easy. And plus I'm not an American citizen. See, the other countries are different than the United States. Illegal immigrant comes over here and murders people. We give them we give them free health care, right? And you can see that with the Democratic National debates, or the primaries rather. They're more concerned with illegals. With the other countries, they're the opposite of us. They're the way that you should operate, whether that's violence or whatever. I'm not talking about what it is. I'm talking about how they implement it. They treat their people that aren't there, the visitors and the people that, I'm going to live somewhere. I'm going to live in Japan. I'm a Western guy who wants to live in Japan. I'm saving America from the East, And I do have a bee in my bonnet about that type of stuff. To be honest with you, it just doesn't coincide with what they're trying to say. At least if you're going to move somewhere, move to Europe, where your white roots would be, if you're a white guy trying to do that, but you end up looking like a weeb. And with this, who knows where this could go.
아주 무한한 영광이다라는 얘기입니다. 내가 G20에 왔다가 한국에 오게 되니까 그런데 김 위원장한테 전화를 하고 연락을 해서 한번 만나야 되겠다라고 했습니다. 그러니까 오랜.
But what I was going to say is, before she continues, and she's speaking languages we don't know, sure, but with the Otto Warmbier or whatever it is, right? Or remember Khashoggi, everybody acted like they gave a shit. Always a fellow journalist. All those white erudite CNN people with the Botox and the pulled lips and all that, they wouldn't shit on Khashoggi because he wasn't, I'm not like my white people, they're so bad, but, I'm a race realist. That deep down inside, these white people don't want to hang out with these types of people in these communities and all that, right? They live in their gated communities. You think Chris Cuomo hangs out with all the brothers in the street like he tries to pretend he is on Times Square every once in a while? No. But the thing is, why would you bring up something like Otto Warmbier? You can argue that that's a valid point, sure, and I'm not saying that it isn't. But to bring something up like that during this would only be to derail it. And you can't say, well, I want an honest answer, because he's not going to give you that answer. And you see the media do this all the time. Jim Acosta's number one. He'll ask Trump about stuff. Well, Trump, they said that you got a woman to bleach your asshole, and then whenever y'all went into the hotel, y'all banged, and she had to pee on you because that was your request. And it's like Kim Jong-un is sitting there saying, I gave, in this example would be Kim Jong saying, I've let my guard down for this bullshit. I've taken a leap of faith for piss. You know what I mean? Piss and shit. But he's sitting there, he's really thinking about what he's doing. And I don't think he's an idiot. Absolutely not. I don't think he's an idiot. And Trump's definitely not an idiot neither. They're both bombastic. People like to think bombastic. Well, you have no filter. That doesn't mean somebody's not smart. You can be crazy and smart. You can be crazy smart. Neither know what the other's going to do. That's a good friendship.
So we're going to go inside. We're going to talk for a little while about different things. And a lot of really positive things are happening. And I'm glad you could be here to see it, but tremendous positivity. Really great things are happening, and in a lot of places. But we met and we liked each other from day one, and that was very important.
See, and with Trump, he's not even saying, you see, Kim, I talk to these people even though they're the fake press, fake news. He's not doing that, so why would they bring up somebody like Warmbier? And they don't in this video, right, but they've done it before. And Jim Acosta was over there, I think, in Asia and did it. I think he was in Asia when that happened. At least, no, I'm sorry. He was in U.S. when he was doing some of his stuff in the crowd like he does. But he was yelling at President Trump in, they were in Singapore, right? And they were meeting the first time they ever met, the summit, the first summit, because I think there's been two. And he was yelling, Mr. President, how do you think things have gone? And President Trump was thinking, this fucker, this is supposed to be a silent walk, this and that. But he turned to him and said, you know, we're doing great, we're blah, blah, blah. And I think Acosta even yelled out shit that what didn't even pertain to it, like I said. And it's just like, really, dude? There's a time and place for everything, so. It's just like with Obama when he was doing Congress or some speech and some guy said, you lie. Everybody said, oh, that's not the time for this. And they won't even admit that he lies, right? I mean, people talk about, well, Trump, there's whatever. And I'm like, yeah, people fall short. There's things he says he would do and then he changes his mind on, sure, whatever. But they wouldn't even admit that he lied. But the thing is, I don't need somebody in Congress or something to yell, you lie, whenever I know that he is. Just like with this. We know that it sucks that Otto Warmbier died. And Trump is getting a lot of remains from these soldiers that people couldn't get from Kim. And they can study this and all this because he's being cordial. Well, you don't cozy up to dictators. Well, what's your plan, dummy? You want to talk about stopping war and then calling somebody a dictator saying we can only do this by force, we're going to remove him. Back when Mattis, thank God he's out, wanted to, you know, blow him off the map. We're able to invade, sir, any moment. You think that's going to help? Do you really think that's going to help? See, he's thinking. I'm no body language ghost, but keep watching.
지금까지는 대단한 그러한 진전을 이루었습니다. 우리는 서로 만나자마자 서로 아주 느낌이 좋았습니다. 그리고 서로 좋아하고 있습니다. 아마도 많은 진전을 이룰 수 있을 것 같습니다.
See?
Thank you, everybody.
Good shit, President Trump. See, in Dissenter, if you don't have Dissenter, you should get it. It's pretty cool. It's like the back alley of the internet, really. And I'm on here as _man_carnival. I don't use it much, but I do like it for Dissenter, Gab, that is. This guy, I just wanted to see a few of these. It says, in my area, I'm in the area. Might as well have an impromptu meeting where I make history and step across the DMZ. Mad lad, love Trump. The deep state is shitting mushroom clouds right now. That's true. And that's Democrats and Republicans. Democrats want Trump to fail. Republicans want war. That's why I say I'm far right. People say, well, you're a Republican, because I'm not even a quote-unquote Trump Republican. Me and him, if we were in the same party Republican-wise, I scare people like Lindsey Graham. He scares people like Lindsey Graham. There's people that are ultra-conservative that don't like Trump because of his stances on gay marriage and all that stuff, and I disagree vehemently with him. And the transsexual issues, I don't believe they should be killed. But, you know what I mean? They act like it's crazy. I'm radical in my mindset, but you don't see me milkshaking people, and we might get into a video about that later, about Antifa. It's reaching a breaking point. And I said in a tweet that the media has or Twitter and media have no nails left after this, because they've been digging their claws into the ground as we drag them to the violence and say, this is what Antifa has done. No, please, we know what they're doing, but we want to pretend that they're not. They have no nails left. They popped off from being drug in the sand so much, or the concrete, whatever they're digging into. And emphasis on concrete, because that Andy guy, they went after, they threw concrete at him in the milkshakes. And if you're all throwing milkshakes and it's not just one guy, then it's no longer a fucking leader thing. It's not we're going to stand up and be defiant. There was one guy that stood up to the tanks at Tiananmen Square. It wasn't a bunch of people saying, all right, they took him away, now it's my turn. And they went up there and said, all right, now time for my photo op. Let me get my milkshake on him. All right, now it's my turn to get my milkshake on him. Now, I can't even say on YouTube what I would like to happen to these people, but let's say it leans really far right. Because people like that don't deserve the right to be able to do that. I would argue they don't have the right to speak if they're going to do that. So, same reporters that were acting like this is such a great thing for Trump are going to be the same fuckers that go home and write about milkshake being great. But I do want to say, fuck Carlos Maza, the gay wonk, piece of shit. Of course he loves to see men dousing each other in white liquids. But not that I want to go off on the jag. I'm just kind of previewing what I might do later, because I've got all week to do it. You guys tell me what you think. I feel like progress is being made. I feel like diplomacy is the only way we can do this. I felt the same about Bashar al-Assad in Syria. And things are getting real. And People will use impromptu as a negative word. There'll be negative stuff coming out. How could Trump let this happen? About, why would you even entertain somebody that talked to somebody like that or did things to his people? Well, do you think that going in there and taking his country from him is going to help? Because that's the only thing you could do to stop that. See, the Democrats are in the same country as Trump and they can't even talk to him. And Trump can talk to Kim Jong-un. You don't think that he doesn't know that there's shit like that he disagrees with over there? I love that he's cozying up to a dictator. Which one? Because isn't Kim cozying up to a dictator? Because I thought Trump was a dictator. If I got in there, you would know a damn dictator. But let me know. Maybe coming to a point where we have to frog march these fuckers, where they're inevitably gonna end up. Trying to derail us at every turn. Foreign policy, in the streets as we cover things, in the streets as we cover them, destroying things that we want to cover. And it's waking people up. I'd use the nails dragging in the dirt. I'm not really a fan of Tim Pool. I mean, I don't hate him, but he's one of those people that still wants to desperately hold on to the fact that, there's liberals out there and there's what? No, the Overton window is moved. So you can't say that, I'm no Republican, but Tim, they would probably shoot you in the street with me. It's like what people want to say about different cultures. You're Christian, you're atheist, you're white, you're black, or whatever. If somebody comes in over here and wants to kill Americans, they're going to blow us all away. I see that same about politics. You think Antifa gives a shit? You don't think they wouldn't beat Tim Pool's brains in? And you don't think that somebody like me or Rufio Pammon, that everybody gave shit for knocking that Antifa guy out, you don't think that he would be there protecting Tim Pool or something like that? Absolutely we would. But, so, I guess I'm done ranting, but we got a war going on here domestically, and we got people trying to derail us foreign-wise, too. So, have fun. Keep hopping along. Let me know what you think. Praying for all Trump and all these things, because it can only be done through God, and it looks like he's being used for now. His ego, people like to talk about it, he uses it up and down like it's a tool, and so do I. Maybe that's because I'm a performer, I understand that, but he's being used. He's allowing himself to be used for good. Say what you want about him. I believe everybody can be used for good, and this is looking promising, but I'll see myself out.